Good morning. This is the second of my inspirational and encouraging videos. Today I'm going to talk about mental health. It's very difficult for a lot of us during this time of the coronavirus. Many people are having to stop in more than they would expect to. Others have to go out because of their keyline workers. It's a challenge to all our mental healths at the moment. So I just want to talk about how I try and maintain my mental health on my days off. I'm a keyline worker, so I do have to go out there and connect with my team and support people there in the community. It's not an easy job, and it's not easy for the people I support. However, we have to stay positive and make life as enjoyable as possible in very challenging times. In order for me to maintain my own mental health, I try and keep a routine on my days off. It's so very tempting if we're shut indoors, and on my days off I'm shut indoors as much as anybody else, is to have a routine. So I get up before 10 o'clock, I get dressed and I go out for a walk. Craig and I spend some time together because we can, and we enjoy that time together. And for me, I'm thankful that I do live with Craig and I can spend time with him, and that is a real blessing for me. And I think we have to find time and find time to consider what we're thankful for, because it's not easy times, and we do have to try and, well, I find it useful to focus on the positive, because that's what is going to get me through. My faith in God is going to get me through. That may not be everybody's way, but that's what helps me. So I pray and meditate on the Bible. I take time to be still in God's presence, and I find time to spend time in the sunshine. I also like to find time to be creative. Now, many of you might think I haven't got a creative bone in my body. When I was struggling with depression and anxiety some years ago, I was challenged to take up some kind of creative pursuit. I thought, I can't do that. I'm not very good at stuff like that. But I got into photography, and I became actually over time became quite successful. But when I first started, I wasn't very good, but I kept having a go and I kept having a go. And since then, I've got into more and more different creative pursuits, from knitting, sewing, drawing. Now, I'm not saying I'm very good at all of them, but I enjoy it. And I think that is the key thing. Finding something that you enjoy. Sometimes you might do a fantastic result. Some people would say, actually, I make fantastic cards now. I'm not so sure about that, but I enjoy it, and the people who receive my cards love receiving them, and that's what matters. And take time to rest and sleep. Now, that might seem quite obvious, but for me, when I was struggling with depression and anxiety, I couldn't switch off. But now, over time, I've found ways of switching off, whether it's chucking my phone out the window before I go to sleep, so I'm not having those lights or looking at my computer screen before I go to sleep. Those sorts of things. There's lots of things that can help us sleep, but I'll leave that for another video, perhaps, if people would find that helpful. There are lots of resources, and I'll dig out some of those over the next few days. The other thing which is really important to me is journaling. Each day, or every other day, I try to focus on positive things that have happened during the day, things I'm thankful, but also how I'm feeling. Because sometimes if we're feeling frustrated or angry or annoyed, or something's bugged us, that actually if we write it down, it can actually help dispel those feelings. It's sometimes not easy to write about things that aren't as nice as joy and peace and things, and flowery things, but we all have the not so nice feelings. But sometimes we can use those not so feelings to do something constructive, and that's what I try and do. If something isn't going as well as I like it to, I try to turn it inside out and make it something positive. I also use one of these. Now, I use prayer and meditation to help me have peace and calm, but there are times I can't concentrate on that. It seems silly sometimes, but then I get my colouring book out. Sometimes that feels silly, but it is a form of meditation. It does help you calm and switch off. Hope you found this useful, and I will see you on Sunday.